I sold your house to teach you a lesson about respect, my stepmother sneered over the phone. The new owners move in next week. Her voice dripped with satisfaction, that syrupy kind of cruelty she reserved for moments she thought she'd finally won. I didn't respond right away. I let her words hang there, like smoke that would soon suffocate her instead. Then I smiled, slow, deliberate. "Good luck with that," I said. She had no idea what was coming. The hook. I still remember the first day she walked into our lives. My father's new beginning, he called her. Her perfume was too sweet, her smile too rehearsed. She had the kind of beauty that demanded attention, and the kind of charm that made people forget to question her motives. At first, I tried, for my father. I tolerated her sharp comments, the way she rearranged the house as if she were erasing my mother's memory. She used to call me dear, until my father passed. Then it was you. Within a week of his funeral, she replaced his photo on the mantel with one of herself. That was the first betrayal. The second was what she did with his will. The backstory. My father was meticulous, every document labeled, every account secured. I was his only child, his only heir. But grief made me slow, and she was quick. She filed for control of the estate before the soil on his grave had settled. When the lawyer called to inform me of adjustments made to the will, my stomach turned cold. He said my father had recently signed a revised version, one leaving nearly everything to her. It didn't make sense. My father was many things, but careless wasn't one of them. That night, I went through his study. His safe was empty. The camera he always kept above the door, gone. That's when I knew. Discovery. Over the following weeks, I watched her. I didn't confront. I learned. She was sloppy with her victories. I'd hear her bragging on the phone to her friends about selling my father's car, his watch collection, the land. She talked about the stupid girl who didn't understand how the world worked. I understood perfectly. So I started visiting the lawyer, quietly. Turns out my father had come to see him shortly before he died, not to change the will, but to lock it. A sealed version existed, but it could only be executed under one condition, if proof of coercion or forgery ever surfaced. And proof was exactly what I intended to find. Shift in mindset. Revenge, I've learned, doesn't need rage. It needs patience. While she spent her days selling off pieces of my father's life, I was reconstructing it. Every call she made, every document she signed, I tracked them through bank records and legal filings. It wasn't difficult to find inconsistencies. She'd forged my father's signature on transfer papers, filed false declarations of ownership, even used his medical condition to justify his mental clarity when signing the will. When I had enough, I presented everything to the lawyer. He didn't even blink. "I've been waiting for this," he said, sliding a sealed envelope toward me. Inside was my father's real will, one that transferred full ownership of the house, land, and assets to me upon his death. But there was more. A secondary clause. If any beneficiary acts in bad faith or commits fraud, all property transfers revert immediately to the rightful heir. Her greed had activated the clause. Execution. I waited. I wanted her to feel safe first. For months, I played dumb, polite, compliant. She believed she'd broken me. That was her mistake. The day she called, gloating about selling my house, she thought it was her triumph. In reality, the house was already legally back in my name. The sale papers she'd signed? Null and void. The buyers she mentioned? My father's lawyer and a legal associate posing as a couple. They'd played their part perfectly. So when she told me the new owners were moving in next week, I pictured her face when they arrived. Not with boxes, but with an eviction notice and a court summons. Climax. She called again 2 days later. "What the hell did you do?" she screamed. "They said the sale was invalid, that you own everything." Her voice was cracking, wild. I said nothing for a moment, letting her unravel. Then I spoke softly. "I didn't do anything," I said. "Dad did." The silence that followed was almost beautiful. She stammered something about calling her lawyer. I told her to go ahead. It wouldn't matter. Every account she'd drained, every sale she'd pushed, now under investigation. Her funds were frozen, purchased with stolen estate money, repossessed. Her lesson about respect had cost her everything. Resolution. A week later, I walked through the empty house. The sun hit the staircase the same way it always had. My father's photo was back on the mantel. I didn't feel joy exactly, just balance. Some people mistake silence for weakness, but silence is where strategy lives. As I locked